Hi, everybody, and welcome. If this is your first time joining me, I'm Shakia Mayer, and in this video, we are going to talk about whether or not you are realistic and how that might be impacting your financial success. I was having a conversation with somebody, and she was telling me about a goal that she had, and she's a friend of mine. And I said, I got excited because I love to hear about goals and dreams and all that jazz. And so I'm like, this is awesome. When are you going to do it? And she says, well, I can't do it. It's too late. And I go, why is it too late? And she says, because it is, so much time has passed. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into details. And I'm like, how would that make sense? Time is still going to pass. How is it too late? And she goes, I'm realistic. I already know that I can't go and do XYZ. And I wanted to talk about that tonight. Do you consider yourself to be a realist? Are you realistic? And how is that getting in the way of your success, of your financial success, and any other areas of success as well? When we say we are realistic, it means we are looking at the facts. We are looking at the facts of the situation, and based off of the facts, based off of what is presented to us, that will help us to make a decision. That will help us to move forward or not in some capacity based off of what the facts are. I'm realistic. I would never be able to go back to school. It's too late. I'm realistic. I can't make my yearly salary in a month. I'm realistic. Often when we have this thought of being realistic, it is actually from our perceived limitation. We start to limit ourselves. And so when we take on this approach of being realistic, what we're really saying is, I don't believe in myself enough to go after the goal. I am so focused on what my past result has been that I don't even see how I can do that now, how I can achieve this dream now. I'm realistic. So I want us to change the definition, or change at least the connotation of what it means to be realistic. Being realistic can mean that you expect the magic to happen in your life. Being realistic can mean you expect to have magnetic energy. Being realistic could mean you expect to manifest with ease. Being realistic means you expect to call in consistent 5-figure months. We have to change the narrative, because what's happening is you're so focused on the story that you've been telling yourself. And let's be honest, there may be parts of that story that are true. That's how it became your story. There are elements of truth to it. And yet you've attached yourself so strongly to that story and to the potential negative outcomes that you don't know how to see a positive possibility. You don't know how to imagine the what if, and the end result of the what if is positive. Because you've conditioned, and you've been conditioned, your thoughts have been conditioned to believe that we can only expect the worst case scenario. I'm realistic. There is no way I can make $100,000 this year. It's a pandemic. I'm realistic. There is no way I can find my soulmate. Even though I'm going to do another video talking about probably the definition of soulmate. But anyway, so those are some statements that you might say about yourself or your situation, whether it's your financial situation or your relationship situation. I'm realistic. This can't happen. And so you find yourself coming up with all of the ways that you can't hit your income goal. You find yourself coming up with all the ways that you can't hit your goal of taking on a certain number of clients. You come up with all of the ways that you can't do something because you are, quote unquote, realistic. So we have to now retrain our thoughts to get on the same vibration, to get on the same frequency as our desire. If you believe that because you are realistic, you shouldn't expect miracles every day, then how can you embrace the magic? How can you embrace the little miracles when you're not even able to observe them? Because you don't look for them. You've been trained and you've been conditioned. Again, your thoughts are conditioned to not believe that it can happen. So you don't look for the positive what if. You don't believe that good things can happen because you're not open to it. You're not looking, I don't want to say open to it, but you're not receptive to the creative potential of something amazing happening in your life. So you find yourself stuck in this same situation. You find yourself stuck on this same financial wavelength. You find yourself stuck in these same toxic relationships. Today, the title says financial success, so I guess I should stay on that. But, the reality is these are all the ways that you limit yourself because of the skewed thinking. Because again, you've attached yourself to that story, and within that story are the perceived limitations. Within that story, because you're trying to protect yourself, it's actually a defense. You don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to be rejected. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to feel guilt. So because I don't want any of those things, I'm going to build up this facade and I'm going to build up this protective layer to keep myself at a distance from any of those emotions. So that means I'm only going to look at the facts. I can attract and I can get what's here. I can attract and I can get what's realistic. But being a magnetic manifester, having magnetic energy, being a powerful co-creator means you go beyond those perceived limitations and you realize how amazing you are, how powerful you are. And you realize that you are realistic, but not in the way you've been using it. You're realistic in the sense that anything is possible. You're realistic in the sense that if the mind can conceive, as my nana would tell me when I was a little girl, if the mind can conceive, the body will achieve. You are realistic in the sense that anything you put your mind to, as long as you take soul-aligned action, you can achieve it. As Bob Proctor always says, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing here. It can happen. Let that be realistic. I'm realistic. I expect miracles every day. I'm realistic. I expect to manifest intentionally every day. I'm realistic. I expect to hit my monthly income goals every month. I'm realistic. I expect my income to double this month. I'm realistic. I expect to meet the person who I have been dreaming of. Call these things into your life. Take on a new definition of what it means to be realistic. You don't have to keep giving into your perceived limitations, the perceived limitations. You don't have to give in to the old story. That story you've been telling yourself about how you can't achieve what it is you are working on. That story you've been telling yourself that's keeping you in that dead-end job. That story you've been telling yourself that's keeping you broke in your business. That story you've been telling yourself that's keeping you stuck in your current position and your current state of being. But when you start to define realistic in the way that I just talked about a few minutes ago, when we flip it to mean we expect miracles, when we flip it to mean we expect to manifest all of the amazingness that life, that the universe has to offer us, you shift the paradigm. You shift your paradigm. And now you start to get in alignment with those desires. You get in alignment with your financial desires. You get in alignment with those dreams. And when you do that, when you make that shift, when you get in alignment, you end up on the same frequency. As long as you keep your vibration up, right? You end up on the same frequency as your desire. Which means what? Which means you can manifest it. You can bring it into this physical space. You can bring it into this dimension. You can bring it into this realm, because what you desire, that financial goal that you've been dreaming about, it is already here and it is waiting to be deposited into your bank account. The issue is you have given so much power to your old story that you don't believe it can happen. And because you don't believe that it can actually happen, you delayed it from coming into this reality. What you desire is already here. There's a quote, what you are seeking is seeking you, something like that. If that's not the quote, that's going to be the quote today. But what you want is already here. And it is waiting to attach itself to you, but you have to believe that you can have it. You have to believe that you can manifest those consistent 5-figure months. You have to believe that you can manifest clients in your business. You have to believe that you can help the people you say you serve. You have to believe that that dream job you want, you can have it. You have to believe the income you want to make, you can have it. Get out of the old story of believing the limited perspective. Get out of the old story that you are realistic and using that as a way to stop you from elevating, from propelling forward. When, again, you change how we define, or you change rather how you define being realistic, and you shift your paradigm. You're shifting your paradigm, because now you're shifting your mindset, will allow you to start to align, with your true desires. And as long as you keep your vibration up and you are on the same frequency as your desires, you can manifest whatever you want. You can manifest whatever you want. Some people might be listening right now and saying, Shakia, that is not possible. I'm realistic. I know that I can't have consistent 5-figure months. I'm realistic. I don't even like using these examples. I'm gonna have to spray something when this video is over. But some people, you might be watching this right now and you're saying to yourself, Shakia, I'm realistic. This is as good as it's going to get for me. I'm realistic. I can't make what I make in 6 months and 3. I can't make what I make in a month and a week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there and you're saying, nah, girl, this sounds cool, but that can't happen. And the reality is it can. And that's what I teach my clients. How to expect miracles every day. How to live a life of magic. Call it in. Have fun with it. I've been talking about these manifesting checks that I have that are complimentary. It's an easy thing to do to help you boost your manifesting ritual when it comes to calling in your money desires. But some of you don't even believe that it's possible. You didn't even give yourself a chance. You clicked on my link, and you were like, no, what's the point? It didn't happen before. Who am I to hit that money goal? Who am I to make 5 figures? Who am I to make consistent 5 figures? Who am I to scale and elevate in my business? and you talked yourself out of it because you're replaying that same old tired ass story. And I say this with compassion. But you're replaying that same story. And in that story, you've trained yourself subconsciously to not even look for the miracles, to not even look for the magic. When you say you are realistic, and it's from the old view of what realistic is, because remember, in this video, we shifted it, we changed it. Yes, we're looking at the facts. Yes, we're taking that into consideration. Yes, of course. Yes, we're going to do that. But it's not the end all be all. It's not a closed case. We want, and this is one of the main ways out of everything I mentioned, one of the main ways that being realistic will stop you from your success. You don't have an imagination. You're like, Shakia, what the heck? What do you mean? But you don't have an imagination because you're so realistic. And you need an imagination in order to visualize those wildest dreams. You need an imagination in order to see yourself as your future self. You need an imagination in order to believe the affirmations that you are reciting every day. In order to believe the words that's written on the Post-its that you have all around your room, in your office, in your car, and in your wallet. You need an imagination in order to believe it. Because the reality is, and this is a hard truth for some folk, you are not going to manifest what it is you actually want just from reciting an affirmation. If you don't believe that, if you are so focused on the how can this happen, only looking at the black or white of it, only looking at the facts, you're not going to manifest. And that is a huge, misconception. A lot of people and a lot of coaches will teach you to use affirmations. Yes, I use affirmations. Yes, I teach clients about affirmations, but there's a science to it. There is a rhythm to it. And so just believing that you're going to hit that target because of the affirmation and you're not doing anything else, it's probably not going to work out for you, kid. Not in the way that you want. And I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm saying this because, yes, I want you to keep using the affirmations and I want you to pump it up a little bit. I want you to use your imagination. I want you to visualize the words on the paper becoming your new reality. So yes, you are realistic. Anything is possible. Yes, you are realistic. You expect to hit your income goals. Yes, you are realistic. You expect to have an amazing business. Yes, you are realistic. You expect, fill in the blank. What is it that you expect from the universe? What is it that you expect from God? And some of you are like, well, at this point, I don't expect anything because nothing has been working out for me. Then you need to start expecting it. Believe that it is doable. Believe that it is possible. Believe that it can happen for you. I am realistic. I expect miracles every single day. I am realistic. I expect, what is it? I am realistic. I expect to achieve all of my goals. I am realistic. I expect to manifest my new home. I am realistic. I expect to manifest a thriving business. I am realistic. I expect to manifest what is your desire. Stop approaching your manifesting from that old story, from that old paradigm, from that limited belief. That will hold you back. You need to have an imagination. So be realistic using your imagination. Knowing that you can attract whatever it is you want because it is already here. It is already done. So be it, so it is. You just need to have it materialize into this physical space. So expect it. You are realistic. You expect it. You expect to hit those 5 figures consistently every single month, and it will grow from there. Speak life. I'm realistic. This can't happen for me. I'm realistic. I'm too old to go back to school. I'm realistic. I'm just not thin enough. I'm realistic. I'm just not tall enough. I'm realistic. I'm not this and I'm not that and I don't have and I can't do. You do that. When you believe that old way of what realistic is, you think of, and I said this before, you sit in your office, in your car, at home, in your bed, on your couch, and you think of all the ways that you can't have something, all the ways that you can't manifest something, all the ways that things will go wrong because you're realistic. But you can have an imagination and you can be realistic and see all of the amazing and abundant, prosperous opportunities and possibilities that you have, that the universe wants you to have. You are realistic and you are expecting to manifest all of your true desires. Notice I said true because some things you want to manifest ain't really what you want. And I teach my clients how to get clear on what it is you want because listen, you know that expression, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it? Yes, yes, ma'am. Be careful. So I teach my clients how to be crystal clear on what it is they want. How to call in what it is they want. How to be realistic and expect the magic. How to create what they want. How to manifest the lives that they deserve. And that's what I want for you. So I want you to be realistic as you shift your paradigm, as you use your imagination to call in all of your true desires so that you can get what it is you want, what it is you really, really want. And if you want to learn how to call in your desires and you want to learn how to have magnetic energy, how to be a magical manifester, how to shift your mindset so that you can raise your frequency and get on the same vibration as your desire. Because remember, you have to be an energetic match in order to manifest intentionally. If that's what you want, then I encourage you to join me in the Filthy Rich Goddess Virtual Bootcamp so that you can learn how to do this, so that you can learn how to manifest with ease. This is what I mean by reprogramming your subconscious. And again, while I love woo-woo tactics, we go beyond just the woo and we use tangible tactics as strategy. I don't like tactics, but strategy as well. So if that interests you, I highly encourage you to join me for the Filthy Rich Goddess Virtual Bootcamp so that you can transform your life intentionally, positively, abundantly. All right, everybody, let me know what questions or comments you have. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, whether you are watching live or on the replay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, you don't have to give into your old story. You don't have to give into those old limited beliefs. You can change your story by being in the present and manifest intentionally because you are actively using your imagination, because you are realistic and you expect the magic to happen. You expect it to unfold. That's all I have for you today. As always, have a courageous and magical night, and I will talk to you all real soon. Bye.